Okay, hello, greetings and welcome. We have a question about pain management. How do you apply Hermetic principles to managing pain? Now, the first aspect we want to look at is the relationship pain has to your consciousness, your emotions, and your body in relation to time. If I squeeze or pinch my arm, my consciousness contracts and attention goes to the point of the pinch, the point of pain. So there's a contraction of consciousness when intensity of feeling increases. And this is usually in regards to negative emotions, not positive emotions. So the mind starts contracting, paying more attention to the pressure, to the pain. Then there's a speeding up of the energy. Energy starts moving faster and fluctuating faster. So the space is contracting, energy is speeding up. Now, if let's say you had a feeling of pleasure, it would be you'd be relaxing. Your everything would slow down. The space would expand. So it's in opposite to pain. Pain, everything speeds up and contracts. Pleasure, everything opens, expands, and slows down. So we have two directions of time and space relationship for the body, for the feeling, and for the mind. Now, what happens when you vital breathe? If you're vital breathing, the moment you start tapping into it and tuning your mind consciousness to vital energy, you need to slow the mind down. You need to slow the body down. You need to relax to amplify that sensitivity so the mind moves from a contracted body sense space to a spirit sense space. It needs more space to do that and needs to be a little bit slower than normal. So arts like Qigong and Tai Chi and internal arts place emphasis on control the breathing because that condenses the vital energy through the breath, slowing down of the breath and slowing down of the body because that attunes the consciousness to the spirit sense of what feels energy. And then the mistake a lot of people make is they contract one point like the dantian to the center of gravity or something like that, rather than expanding and opening the space beyond the body to activate the spirit sense. So here we have in relation to pain, is we want to put our mind in the center of gravity of the pain and then give it some space and slow it down. So you put relaxation into the pain and you open it up. Now what a lot of people is they'll ignore the pain. They'll go to a place of, I'll just ignore it, pretend it doesn't happen, and distract myself with something else. The distraction of yourself puts your mind in another place, so it splits you off from the body a little bit more and doesn't hurt as much. And as you do that, you're not giving the pain the attention and energy it needs for it to amplify itself. So for some people that works well. But what we want to do is pay attention to the pain, relax it, open it up, and go to the heart of it. What's causing that pain? What do we have to release? Is there emotional blockages, physical blockages, psychological blockages? What do we have to release and open? And as we tune into what we're releasing and opening, we slow it down and relax time. What happens is consciousness, for the intuitive personality types, will go through this timeline of going back to the heart of the problem. We go, that's where it started. And these moments along in the timeline of where it amplified or reduced, and you get a sense of how to manage it. So let's say the pain came from a car accident. So that's the moment where the physical trauma happened, the emotional trauma, and you go back and you start releasing it from the moment of the accident, and you go just before the accident and you start letting it go. So what happens is your emotional psychological relationship to that trauma changes. So you're essentially changing your relationship to the trauma by releasing and letting it go, letting the healing process start. But if there's that shock moment of the accident where you're unconsciously clinging to survival, then the pain will be rooted in that shock moment. Now, you may have a severe injury. You may have lost a leg, for instance, in that car accident. And that loss of that limb, yes, that's painful, but the emotional pain that goes with it, that's the part you can manage and release quite easily if you get the technique right. The pain of your body healing itself and going through that normal regular process, when you're not hurting as much, the body can heal itself, because it's really in your sleep state where most of your healing happens. So by releasing the emotions, you sleep more deeply and the body heals itself more efficiently. And the next aspect is contracting your unconscious mind, contracting your body consciousness, contracting your spirit to align to the healing process. And in order for that to happen, you have to get all those emotions out of the way for your body to begin healing. Now, there's all different types of layers of karma that people have for all different types of problems. So every situation is unique. Some things might be healing needs to be done in a past life, not in this incarnation. Some things they have to go back to childhood for the healing. It could be an emotional blockage from a parent raising a hand, or a teacher screaming at a student and telling them they're stupid, or something like that. Whatever that blockage is, you have to go back to it in the timeline and release those blockages, whether it's in this incarnation or past incarnation. So we want to have trained methods of releasing time. You want to be training methods of releasing space, opening the mental space. And between those two, you get deep states of relaxation. And in those deep states of relaxation, you invite the three layers of the physical body consciousness, the astral subconscious, and the spirit consciousness to align to the healing. You contract them to heal. To access the body consciousness, you go into the vital energy and you relax and release the vital energy into a function or use. You slow down the energy a bit more into the astral unconscious and you contract that. And you release space into the spirit and you contract the spirit to begin the healing process. Now the healing process, the time it takes, can be instantaneous, like spontaneous healing where cancer, a tumor just dissolves and disappears, or it can happen over time. In some cases it's not going to happen. If it's a past life thing, you've got to go back and deal with it in that past. So every situation is unique and different. Okay, so for the person who asked the questions about pain management, I hope this helps. Getting your relationship to time, your relationship to space, and releasing those two. Now, if you want to go further, every meditative practice that you do, if there's a form of concentration in it, there's an accumulation of stillness. Stillness is the symptom of akasha accumulating under the concentrated mind. So as soon as akasha starts to accumulate under the concentrated mind, we experience deeper states of stillness, deeper states of quietude, deeper states of absence, of static, more equanimity. And that equanimity, when you run that quality through any body pain, through problems, you get an instantaneous relief of, that feels better. It's not gripping and grabbing you. It just lets go. So you can go into the akashic state, pay attention to that infinity, and release from there. So that is a more advanced level of releasing and managing the cause of the pain. And then from there you go into light consciousness. And consciousness itself, the fabric of consciousness, is non-dual light. And the light that you experience when you go through akasha and look at your own consciousness, that light is your karma. It's what's stuck to your mind when your physical body dies and your mind moves from one reincarnation to the next. What is stuck to it is energy, and energy is light. And that light that is stuck to your mind sets up what your next reincarnation is going to be. So we want to purify the light of consciousness by interacting with infinity. Now infinity is the door. Be still and know that your vibrational match to God, the universal mind. So when you move into that light and you go into the infinity aspect of that light, the mind expands and you start experiencing divinity. You start experiencing aspects of the universal mind, or some people will call it the Tao. Now when you interact with the Tao, you can put prayers to, I return this karma to God. I return this pain to God. I return the food you're about to eat to God, because that's where it came from. It came from a cycle from the sun, energy, growth, food grows, we eat the food, and you put prayers to return it to where it came. And that completes the karmic cycle, like a loop of creation that returns back through the creative process. You can do the same with pain. You can put a prayer in the pain, go into the Akasha, surrender that pain back to universal mind, back to God, and surrender it back to God to return and complete its cycle. When you do that, the cause of the pain reduces. Everything goes, that's better, I feel better. And this method of managing pain is very effective, very, very efficient. Okay, so next stage from there is aspects that we call instantaneous healing. Now, every doctor, every healing professional knows there's instantaneous healing, where most cases in the research says you give a person a sugar tablet and you say to them, this cures cancer. And the person believes it, and you say to them, yeah, we've cured all these people of cancer with this, it'll work for you, here, take this medicine. And they take the medicine and the unconscious mind moves. As the unconscious mind moves, it moves its state into a state of healing and cancer dissolves. The unconscious literally dissolves, it makes it disappear. So just the fact that we know this happens, there is the body system of how the body functions. And then there's the layer of consciousness beneath that. Now, that deeper layer of consciousness that is initiated to dissolve a cancer, it's deeper than your body's system. It's deeper than the intelligence of this body, because it just puts the command in to move and the cancer disappears. The person is spontaneously healed. Now, this is one of the least researched areas of medical science and healing, but it is the most powerful. The healing happens the fastest. Most healing that happens throughout history has been moving the unconscious. You give a person the herb and tell the person this will heal you, and there's a history of that herb healing other people, and they know it, they take it, it heals them. So they may not have enough of the herb may not even actually work at all, but the unconscious believes that this herb is going to cure them. So it does. So this process of spontaneous healing is moving the unconscious mind. So if you're a healer, you need to move the unconscious mind of the receiver. You have to have faith for them. You placebo for them. Your faith and your skill touches the unconscious mind of the person and makes it move. This ability to make people's unconscious mind move requires faith. And how do we acquire faith? Through direct experience. So you accumulate direct experience in whatever your area of expertise is, faith accumulates, and that faith moves other people's unconscious mind in what you're doing. Whether you're teaching Qigong, want people to feel energy and have experiences, your faith moves them to have experiences because you've been through the process. You have to believe in what you're doing when you teach what you're doing to someone else. This applies to the healer. You have to have faith in your ability to move someone else's unconscious mind for spontaneous healing to take place. So when you're giving healing to others, you're communicating with that person unconscious. You don't care what they believe, you don't care what their experience is, you don't care how the problem happened, you just go onto the unconscious mind and contract the unconscious. Is it time to heal now? Yes, let's heal this body. And you want to do that through all the layers of the deeper aspects of the body consciousness, the astral unconscious, the spirit, going all the way up to the person's divine nature and synchronizing all those bodies to the healing process. Now, depending on their karma, is how quickly this works. With some people, it's click, bang, healing just takes place instantly because their karma allows it. If the karma is very deep and tough and stuck, it may take a lot longer. So it'll depend on the healer's ability, and it'll depend on the karma of the person receiving it and their openness to receiving it. Okay, we'll leave it there. Looks like the battery's getting a bit low. So if you have any more questions, I've been trying to get through the comments on the YouTube channel and pull questions from there. But with my eyesight and my phone, I only got a few minutes that I'm on there, and then I'll catch a question and try and answer it. But if you've asked questions like weeks or months ago and I haven't replied to them, and have a think about your questions. Don't ask stupid questions. It wastes everyone's time. Think about what you're saying. Do your due diligence and research on it first, and then go, yeah, this is important enough for everyone to hear a video about, and then ask it. Because I just ignore people who are trolling and asking dumb things. I mean, I get things like, what is chi? Practice building the wall and find out for yourself. You know, that type of thing. So please think about the questions you have. And to be honest, you already know the answer. You know, you feel the answer, a deep part of your consciousness already has it. You don't need me to point at it. You really have already got it. But I'm happy to make these videos for people, because once I point at it and then you come into resonance with it, you go, okay, click. But it was already there the whole time. All right, thank you very much, and see you on the next video.